If your roses look tired right now, crispy edges, fewer blooms, leaves going yellow, it's not the heat, it's you. And in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what you're doing wrong and how to fix it before July finishes the job June started. Hey, this is GrowX Green, and every July I get the same flood of messages. My roses were fine in May, but even what happened? July is the month roses either thrive or quietly start dying, and almost nobody notices until August when it's too late to undo the damage. So today we're going through the 5 biggest July rose mistakes. The ones I see in almost every backyard, and exactly how to reverse them. Stick around to the end because mistake number 4 is the one that kills more rose bushes than heat ever does. Here's the thing about roses in July. They're not actually struggling because of the heat itself. They're struggling because everything we did right in spring becomes wrong in summer. The watering schedule that worked in April is now drowning their roots. The fertilizer that pushed spring growth is now pushing weak, heat-stressed growth that pests target first. And the worst part? By the time you see the damage and the yellow leaves, the bud blast, the black spots, the stress already happened a week or 2 earlier. You're not looking at today's mistake, you're looking at last week's. I've watched beautiful, established rose bushes, 5, 10 years old, decline in a single bad July, not because the owner didn't care, because nobody told them summer rose care is a completely different game than spring. Mistake 1. Watering on autopilot. Mistake number 1, and this is the big one, watering on a schedule instead of watering on need. Most people water roses the same way in July as they did in May, same days, same amount. But July's sun pulls moisture out of soil 2 to 3 times faster. So that enough water from spring? It's now barely touching the roots. Here's the test I want you to do today. Stick your finger 2 inches into the soil near the base of the plant, not right at the stem. If it's dry at 2 inches, that's when you water, not on a calendar, on this. And when you do water deep, water slow, water at the base. Early morning, before 9 a.m. so the plant can absorb it before the heat hits. Overhead watering in July afternoon sun. That's basically steaming your leaves. Deep watering twice a week beats shallow watering every day, every single time. Mistake. 2. Spring. Pruning habits in summer. Mistake number 2. Pruning like it's still spring. In spring, you prune hard to shape the plant and push new growth, but in July, heavy pruning stresses a plant that's already fighting heat stress. You're asking it to heal a wound and survive 95-degree afternoons at the same time. What you should be doing in July is deadheading, not pruning. Snip just the spent bloom right above the first 5-leaf set. That's it. You're not reshaping the bush, you're just telling it, stop putting energy into a flower that's already done and put it somewhere useful. And skip the hard structural pruning until late winter dormancy. I know it's tempting when a cane looks awkward. Leave it. July is for maintenance, not surgery. Mistake number 3, blind fertilizing. Fertilizing on the same routine you started in April. Heavy nitrogen feeding in peak summer heat pushes soft, leafy growth, and that soft growth is exactly what spider mites and aphids go after first. You're not feeding your roses, you're setting a table for pests. In July, switch to a lower nitrogen, higher potassium feed, something built for bloom and root resilience, not leafy growth. Or better yet, slow-release compost worked gently into the topsoil, not synthetic, quick-release granules. Less is genuinely more right now. Your roses aren't trying to grow taller in July. They're trying to survive and keep blooming. Feed for survival, not size. Mistake, all before. The silent killer, climax.
And now, mistake number 4, the one I told you about at the top. The one that kills more roses than heat ever will. Black spot, powdery mildew. They don't show up because of heat. They show up because of humidity trapped against the leaf. And July's combination of warm days, occasional storms, and overhead watering is the perfect breeding ground.
Finally, check your mulch. A 2-inch layer acts like insulation, keeping the roots cool even when the air is scorching. Most people don't notice until the leaves are already yellow and dropping. By then, the fungus has been spreading for days. The real mistake isn't the disease showing up, it's not checking the undersides of leaves every few days where it starts. Here's what actually works. Improve airflow by thinning crowded interior growth. Water at the base only, never the leaves, and water in the morning so any moisture left on the plant dries fast in the sun instead of sitting all night. And if you already see spot or mildew, remove the affected leaves immediately. Don't compost them, bag them, throw them out. They carry spores that'll just reinfect your soil next year. This one habit, just checking your leaves every few days, will save more roses than any product you could buy. Mistake 5. Mulch neglect. Last one, mistake number 5. Treating mulch like decoration instead of protection. A 2 to 3 inch layer of mulch around your roses isn't just for looks. In July, it's the difference between soil that holds moisture and soil that bakes dry by noon. It also keeps roots cooler and blocks weed competition for water. Just keep it a few inches back from the actual stem. Mulch, piled against the base, traps moisture against the bark and invites rot and pests. Here's what I want you to take away from all of this. None of these mistakes mean you're a bad gardener. They mean nobody told you that roses need a different kind of care once summer hits. Spring rules don't apply in July. Water deep, not often. Deadhead, don't prune. Feed light, not heavy. Check your leaves before the spots do. And mulch like it's protection, not decoration. Do these 5 things and your roses won't just survive July. They'll be the healthiest part of your garden going into August. If this helped you look at your own roses differently, do me one favor. Subscribe to Grows Green and turn on notifications, because next week I'm walking through exactly how to get a second flush of blooms before fall, and you do not want to miss it.